have the curses. Let's see, have the curses.
That was good. Hallelujah. That was good, Jesus. I love you, Lord. Yes, I love you. Oh, yeah.
Public success and private failure. And I want to say, when he touched on it, that it's, or maybe it was Annette, that talked about the fact that we parade ourselves a little bit. In the church, it's like you feel like you can't just be real and just be honest and just be like, hey, this is what I'm going through right now. My marriage is rough right now, and I don't want to feel like I can't come and talk to you because you've been putting up this thing as if you have figured out the secret to perfect marriage, and your marriage never had an issue. Honestly, and you know I love to go back and find a scripture for y'all. So, but you know, what was it? I think it was Paul when he was exhorting one of the churches. He said the old woman. Talk to the young woman. Because the young women don't know what they don't know. They haven't been there yet.
Yeah, but they have to listen.
So we do need the older women.
Glory. Hallelujah.
And be like,
my God.
This is what marriage is. This is what singleness is. This is what being a professional is.
Hallelujah.
It's messy.
Glory. Wave your rug, Jessica.
Somebody had prepared me for the political arena of growing up in your
glory.
country. I wish somebody had prepared me for marriage. You know what I mean?
Jesus.
Because you really don't know, because you look at the other women and you guys look beautiful. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm like, I want that marriage one day. I want that career one day. I want that because you all have made it look so nice. And when we break, we're like, something's wrong with us. I don't know why I'm failing. I remember I've been married for 13 years. Thank God. And the first 11 years was rough. Okay? I'm talking about I just turned the corner. Listen to me carefully. I just turned the corner.
Talk the things, lady.
And I've been married
Go ahead
for
now.
13 years. Because I
Look
wasn't
here.
prepared for marriage.
All right.
Because like her, I grew up with a lot of strong women. I saw how to, and I'm an administrator by nature, so I already know how to lead. I know how to manage. I got this, you know? So I come into the marriage with all of that. And nobody said, you don't have to humble yourself. Now, but mind you, my husband, he is very, very proper. He was raised by a strict minister mother. And he would constantly go like this with the Bible. He would say, the Bible says you gotta submit.
Amen.
Yeah. And his mother had to come in and level him out too and be like, no, you can't beat her with the Bible now. He was right. I didn't need to submit, but I hadn't been taught and I hadn't been shown. And so meanwhile, I'm at home and my in the public, everybody's thinking, oh, they're such a cute couple. Oh, they look so nice. They got these babies. Oh my God. And meanwhile, I was at home feeling like a total failure. Wow. I was crying. And I was up one night so late just crying. I'm like, I can't do this. I feel like my back is up against the wall. He won't bend. He won't change. He won't this. He won't do.
What about you? What about you?
I'm like, God, you're gonna have to show me how to get over this. And this is the kind of person I am though. I was like, you know what, God? Well, since this is the card you dealt me, and since this is what I'm gonna have to live with, for these children, I'll stay here, and I'll just make it work. And if I have to be unhappy the rest of my life, God, this is the card you dealt me. That's how I spoke to the Lord. That is how real talk. Y'all want to keep it real? That's how I spoke to the Lord. And I was like, since you dealt me this card, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna shut my mouth, and I'm just going this, and I'm just going. And I told God, and I cried, and I let it out. And it was nice to let it out, but it didn't fix anything. All I did was let it out. He still wasn't changing. But the idea is that I didn't know really how to handle a man because I wasn't raised with my father. I would think about it, and I'm like, I'm missing data. I'm missing information.
That's it.
I'm missing affirmation that I should have received from a man that I never got. So Holy Spirit, you're gonna have to come in and be my father. I need you to come in and show me what being a man feels like. Because I would get scared. My husband disciplined the kids, and I'm like, oh God, he's gonna kill them. Because I never saw a man discipline children. So it was a constant state of contention. I was like, you can't discipline the kids. So meanwhile, I'm jumping in while he's disciplining the kids. And he's like, you can't do that. And I was like, why not? I birthed them. So we literally... It was my first son because I didn't know nobody also told me that when I became a mother that I was going to change.
Come on now.
Someone has to tell the young girls, you are good with your marriage until those babies show up.
Right.
When the babies show up, you are different. If nobody told you, hear it from me. You are different. That day. Different how? Your whole perspective.
You thinking?
Your whole perspective changed. And now, I'm dealing with the situation where I got Daniel. He's 8 years old now. And I got Daniel and Jason, you know what he did? I was 6 weeks pregnant and I said, bring gravy on the rice. He came back with the rice, no gravy, nowhere. And I was 6 weeks pregnant with the second one. And I said, this is unacceptable. We're not going to have this. And I threw the food up. Ooh. He was not a happy camper because I didn't know how to respect him. And I didn't know how to be chill. And I was pregnant, but I didn't have right to disrespect the man. You understand what I'm saying? So nobody teaches you this. And you have to know. Older women, don't hold back and think that this generation
Oh, mighty God, but pull out the stick so that I can listen, mighty God. Glory.
You see us, you come to us, and I love the lady, she was right here, Mama, you want to say your life? Because I remember. And young girls do get offended, but don't hold back your good intent of love and your wisdom from this generation, because we'll be us in our marriages, we realize we don't have the answers, and then we over here didn't figure it out. And if because I love to seek the Lord, he actually answered me, but some of them are going over to get a divorce. And it's simple, but we didn't learn it and we didn't see it modeled. And if you guys lock up the door and don't show and say, hey, I had to learn how to respect that man too, or I had to learn how to deal with that too, so that we will know this is the strategy. You're misguided, my sweetheart, and you need to learn. And let them be mad. They're gonna learn.
Just like that. Amen.
The first thing that came to mind,
move your water, please.
when I think about public success, private failure.
You good?
First thing that came to mind for me is healthy people don't go to the hospital. So why do we think perfect, holistic saints come to church? Not just as saints, but we always hear pray for your leaders. That's not just a thing to say. No. It's the people who go before God for you, who intercede on your behalf, the people who you are under, you've decided to go to this church, and these are the people that God has set before you. These are leaders. You pray for your leaders. Because just like they pray for you,
they need prayer too.
They need prayer too.
Yes, you got to fill them back up.
And one thing that I think about is, we talked about boundaries, and we talked about, I don't know if we said accountability yet, but one thing that came to mind, doesn't matter how high and mighty you are, you need someone to speak to.
Yeah.
And we talked about all these people that kill themselves, and people filing for divorce. There's just so many things happening. If you could find at least one person that can hold you accountable, and you can hold them accountable, we would be so much better. Because we don't have to, you don't have to be a walking billboard and say, oh my God, I went through this all my life, and this is who I am, and this is what I did. You don't have to do that. But there are some people that need to hear your story. And so it's settings like these where we can share who we are, what we've been through. But then there's also, okay, for instance, I'm gonna put us on the spot for a little bit. I went somewhere simply for cookies, okay? I literally just showed up to the house for cookies. Didn't know, donuts, sorry babe, thank you, baby. I went to the house for some donuts. I just wanted donuts. When I went to the house for donuts, I saw Candice and her husband. Me picking up donuts, which should have been 10 minutes, lasted maybe 4 hours. We were there, and we all had work the next morning, but it lasted hours, and I found it in a simple conversation. I don't even remember how it started. They were talking before we got there. And then I said to babe, I said, this sounds good. I said, we got to stay. They were just talking about something, and I sat there, and I'm like, wow. First, they grew up in a church, right? Y'all grew up in the church. I've known them for years. But in this moment, again, shifting, when you go through transitions, like we just got married, so not that I don't have single friends, I do, but now the mindset is, okay, I got to get around some married people who've been there, done that. They can help us, so we ain't got to go to the courthouse. We're not going to the courthouse.
That's right.
Yeah, I got to get around some married people that can help me. And I listened to Candice and Jillian and Shane and Jason, and I'm like, I'm learning so much, but had they not been speaking or had I not cared to listen, I couldn't have walked away with anything. And so now, just knowing that, okay, man, that's something that she went through, like, man, I can talk to you about this. It's not a matter of you go to everybody and talk to everybody about your business. Everybody don't care about your business. That's true. Everybody don't care about helping you. Everybody don't care about you. Period. Let's just be honest, everybody don't care about you. And so some people that we bring our business to us, it's better, yeah, I'm listening, taking notes, to go talk to my homegirl about you and your business. So you find someone, whether it be that you say, God, lead me to someone, God, connect me to someone who can hold me accountable. With that being said, your accountability should not be a yes man. Your accountability should be someone who can say, you are wrong.
Yes! My God. Yes, hallelujah.
Apologize. If you want me to come with you, I'll come, but you gotta apologize. Your accountability partner needs to praise you, uplift you, yes, guide you and direct you and hold you. You said you wanted to accomplish this in 2019. Where are you in your goals? It's all of this. It's all of these things. And so if you got somebody that's simply saying, yes, baby, yes, girl, that's good, girl, you look good. No. You gotta find someone who's gonna say, you are dead wrong. And you need to apologize. Right? And so, sorry, I kind of got off top of that. I didn't know where I was going with that. But listen, my point is, we are all human beings. And as a people, we've got to stop holding people to a standard so high that it's unattainable. I used to hate being a pastor speaking. I'm like, man, these church people, they want me to do this, and they want me to do that. And what I did, the opposite of what they wanted me to do. Because I'm like, no, it's not fair. I just want to be a regular kid like everybody else. We gotta stop holding people, pastors. They're humans. They are humans. They hurt. They bleed. They're broken. Sometimes they say things they shouldn't say. Leaders, ministers, and I'm not gonna say it's okay, but what I will say, we have to continue to love them and continue to pray for them.
Amen.
So just because they're here and, as you said, have all these lights and whatever the case may be, they still hurt. We still hurt. We're humans. We're not necessarily bishops and pastors. We are people, and we've got to stop holding people to this standard, and we've got to be more accepting. I think if we were more understanding, people could truly show who they are. And again, I'm not saying that a pastor should go before the congregation and say, yo, this is what I did, and this is what I... No, but someone, they should be able to reach out to one person and say, yo, I'm struggling with this right now. Can you help me? Can you pray for me? Can you bring me through this?
Amen.
We got to have somebody.
Amen.
So pray for your pastor. Stop holding people to the standard that you can't even attain, even if God... We gotta stop. The same grace that God has on us, we've got to allow the same grace for our neighbor.
Amen.
That's a whole lot of stuff in there.
I just wanted to add one thing, and Candice brought up a great point, that the older women, the mature women, should teach the younger. We had our women's fellowship is called Noble Women's Fellowship, and that's because we aspire to learn from mature women. Amen. And I remember our very first one, we had a lot of leaders and chaplains and everything come, and the one thing the Lord asked me to ask them was, how many women, how long have you been saved, and how many women have you discipled? And that is a major lack. Because I can tell you, maybe 10 of them had been saved for 15 or more years, and no one walked behind them. No one got to pick up their fruit, rather. And it is very important. And we have to find out why that is. You know, if you look back over your life, and this is not to offend anyone in your salvation, but to look back over your life, okay, I've been saved 10 years, 5 years, 15, 20. Yeah, ain't nobody behind me. You know, I can't, my life struggles that I've overcome, I cannot share them with anyone because I'm still guarded, I'm still closed off. And if the word says that you overcome by the word of your testimony, then share it. Share it. Candace, that was so excellent, because it is lacking. And it's not that the younger does not want to learn from the older. We do, but we don't want you to be in competition with us either, because that's not what it is. That's not what it is. You know, it's you knowing where you came from and being confident in the fact that God delivered you, and say, okay, now I need to find someone to pour this knowledge into, because I'm not about to go to my grave with it. Amen.
Amen. We have to understand the Joshua generation. Amen. Amen. That's powerful. That's a whole panel in that just there. That segment was awesome. I got notes all over. I got notes everywhere. I hope you're writing something to take away. There's so many. I mean, there's powerful stuff in here. I can't even go over it over now because we're running out of time. But I want to, as we wrap up, and I want you to make sure you have your paper and your pen. And just to tag on what the ladies just said, get yourself a mentor. Find somebody who can use accountability, who can speak into your life, who you can learn from. I have one of mine right in this room, and she'll tell me, fix that face in a minute. Oh God, listen, she'll whip me into shape in a minute, and I love her to death. She is my sister, Dr. Carleen Free, sitting right here. She will fix me in a minute. I thank God for her publicly and privately. I would not be half the woman that I am had I not have Dr. Carleen Free. So I'm telling you, encourage you, get somebody who is not afraid to tell you, go apologize, who is not afraid to tell you wrong. To get that person. Don't have the person. Everybody give a cheerleader. I'm going to give you a cheerleader. Whatever. I'm going to go there today. Okay, so let's go as we wrap up. I want to make sure you all have your pens and paper, because you're going to write these things down. I'm going to ask the panel.